So the topic of discussion was frontier technologies, and I think in a nutshell what we discussed was basically, I think across the last like 3 decades or so, there's been a lot of new technologies that have been coming up, and you know, like throughout this entire time, it's always been very volatile, very uncertain, very complex and ambiguous, no matter which phase of like the web, like Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, or whatever these other technologies have been popping out. Everybody has always been facing the same thing, regardless of which generation you're from. And yeah, that's the general takeaway that I got. Anything else to add?
And we also talk about why, what they are, why we need to look at that. I think the team has really contributed. And last but not least, we discuss their perspective of how to do it, and I share with them more perspective. One of the big takeaways is that among the member of 7 of them, only 2 of them heard about United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. So after this session, at least 5 of them just learned something new.
Thank you very much. Yes, that's the big takeaway today. Renee, can I invite you up to just thank Dr. James? Can I have you remain on stage and then have Renee present to you a little token of appreciation? Yes. Pictures? Yeah. Next, can I invite Shri? Yeah. Shri, will you be summing up on your own, or maybe what you have to share? Perfect, and we've got your slide up. You could nominate or you could do it yourself. Good, great. Can we please give Shri a round of applause? Yay. Sure.
Hi everyone, good afternoon to you. My name is Lisa. I've just attended the roundtable with Sri. So what we learned is takes a strategy for us to retain talent. That millennials are not only attracted by money, but the sense of why they are actually choosing that company to work. So Sri shared with us about the T-shape, right? So she mentioned that it can be giving an opportunity for them to learn something else. For example, I'm doing accounting, but she is doing business development. But because she was working in the only 10 people company, so I do have the desire, hey, I'm actually interested to become a business development. So the point is to give them an opportunity to learn something that they are willing to learn, that they are interested to learn. Secondly, Sri also mentioned that actually learning a language, giving them an opportunity to learn a language might be a selling point for talent to work in that company. I think she mentioned in her startup, she give a language support where the talent able to study Korean. So they will be like, oh, I can work in this company, I can learn Korean as well. And in conclusion, having a leadership where you can connect to the talent, the younger generation will retain them because they do have options, but it is, you need to actually to have a strategy where maybe Sri can share more how to retain the talents accordingly.
Thank you so much. I didn't know I said so much, but thank you. Glad to hear that summary. So just a quick update to maybe share with what we were talking about. I think behind innovation is not just ideas, but people. Right? So we're always thinking, how do we continue to nurture talents and basically retain talents as well? So one of the things that we were talking about is different industries have different practices in fintech and F&B. And of course, we also spoke about total reward strategy. It's not just on base salary, but other policies and other strategies that we can utilize to keep our talents interested and activated. We also spoke about not all talents are going to stay with you forever. Right? I think that's something all of us know. So how do we keep them engaged as long as they're with us and really be able to, them learning from us and us also learning from them? So I really enjoyed the participation of being in part of Roundtable C because they were all able to give a lot of interesting context from F&B industry to IT to health and wellness. So also want to thank Hashtaqs for giving us this opportunity to talk about this really interesting and exciting topic as well.
Thank you, Renee. All right, I'm going to invite Renee up to give you Token of appreciation. Thank you. Can we give the really thank you so much for sharing this with us. I think it's really important about connections, with building connections, right, with the people that are in your company, in your establishment. Last but not least, can we please invite Wei Ri to come out to share and conclude your segment? Guys, you can do better than this. I know we've come to the last part of our segment. Can we just give a really warm welcome? Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Ken, I think all the topics that have shared, right, including like, HR, technology adoption and sustainability, I think it just very nicely with my risk management framework, that we have, I think, talked about the risk management processes, right? So in our group, I think we share about, the importance of having a sustainable risk management process, right? And we also explore, the role of risk managers, as well as having a dedicated risk management function, right, to deal with the various risk type, right? So some of the risks that we have talked about, when there are when companies are actually adopting digital technology, or embark on their innovation journey, right? It includes things like financial risk, right, cyber security, right, and sometimes there will be this third-party risk, right? They need to be mindful of, because some processes they are actually outsourced to a third-party vendor, right? And also we also explore the fact about having a dedicated risk management, and also how does it gel across all, and it takes a collaborated and continuous effort to make sure that the risks are being identified, right, analyzed adequately, and having proper treatments to all these risks. Yep. So that sums up our this roundtable discussion. Thank you.
Wei Ri. I think the true success comes from managing risk and not avoiding it.
Yes. Correct.
Yes. Well done. Can you please? Can I?